Well guys, hey, this is a pretty impromptu video. Just had a break for a minute to go and record this after the news, and the reason I'm jumping on this bandwagon really is because I did a video about the whole situation between Sony and Nikon over a year ago, maybe a year ago now. I sold all of my Sony gear and decided to stick with Nikon, and I'd actually planned to do a video about the fact that it was titled how Nikon is slowly winning the cinema game, and it seems like they kind of beat me to the punch with that, with their purchase of Red. Now, I'd heard people commenting on this purchase, and I think it kind of made sense that Apple would have bought Red, and because they do so much work in the video space. But it's such a move. I think it really puts Nikon right straight bang into the cinema game. I do all my recording on Nikon equipment. I love it. I think the only thing that it's missing from this Nikon Z9 is the built-in ND filter. So there's not really that much of a gap between what Nikon is doing and what Sony's doing. I think what Sony has is the infrastructure that's throughout so much of television production. Every person that I've spoken to that works in the industry for television, like does mainstream television, uses a Sony camera. Have Sony rigs, either FX6, FX9s, FS7, FS5, one of those. And a lot of people that do the cinema production also use Sony. But it looks like Nikon has actually jumped straight into it. My thinking is that they are going to combine a lot of their robotics work with AI, with cameras. So if you haven't been on the site, if you haven't seen what Nikon is about, check out their site and their plan for the next 10 years and what they want to achieve. And it involves a lot of AI, a lot of robotics, a lot of AIs. So you know, a lot of the stuff that we're doing may be automated, may be made easier. So the gap that Red fills is the cinema gap, right? You got robotics controlling cameras, you got these controls, you got the sensor, you got the access to the distribution channels, to the brand name that Red has. You combine those two technologies, you can really then step into an entire ecosystem of infrastructure around building and producing a film. So you have your the one thing that I was going to actually say in my video was that Nikon should purchase a gimbal company, right? So gimbal or motorized control company. I actually posted this very comment, I think yesterday, on another channel, Matt Irwin's channel. So another Aussie. So we've got two Aussies that I've watched this morning. There was Matt Irwin, and there was Matt Granger, who also did a video on the same subject. And they posted this morning, so I thought I'd jump in on the bandwagon and get talking about this big, huge move. So basically, the purchase, like, if you don't know the history, basically Nikon and Red had a fight over in-camera RAW recording, and there's an incredible, I think they're also pretty excited about Nikon purchasing Red. I think more excitement, from what I've seen, more excitement is coming from, I don't know if you can hear that. Can you hear it? The birds? They're just back there. There's a whole swarm of, I think, of cockatoos. There they go, flying across. You'll probably hear more. Very excited. Oh, and then there's galahs. Wow, what a scene. I really should have pulled out my other camera, but they're flying through here. This is like the wetlands that are going to be there set up on the other side. But anyway, I digress. Basically what happened, if you don't know the history, Nikon went up against Red by basically putting in-camera RAW, and they put it out there in the Z9, and then Red came after them with their patents. They settled out of court, basically opening the door for another court case if they wanted to. They probably settled and made a deal, realizing that combined that they're better off together than fighting. You know, I think there's still, you know, a few years before we see any real result. So there's still more to come, but I really wanted to jump into this because I'm excited about cameras, I'm excited about filming. I made a big jump into Nikon and invested in the system. So I feel like my choice has been, and my kind of instinct has been proven correct, in that the reason I kind of went for Nikon was I felt like they had more skin in the game when it came to cameras. Their name relies on their cameras, right? Sony does a lot of stuff. They're really broad. If their camera division disappeared today, there's still a lot of stuff that they could fall back on. So they're not relying so much on their reputation in the camera space, but they can attack it because they have a lot of resources. So they can play in that game, and they can play well. But there are other players, like the smaller ones, like Black Magic, and there's Red. These aren't huge behemoths of companies like, say, Sony or Apple. They're smaller players, but they cater very specifically to the market. They understand it, and so this is what Red gives Nikon, that business knowledge and intelligence to specifically attack something, or to give value to something that Nikon is very much invested in, which is cameras, and they can take the marketplace that's already been kind of invested in by Red, connect to it, and then start building products when combined, Red and Nikon products combined, can build better products and better serve the cinema camera industry and cinema recording industry with different things. So I think with their robotics company, all they're missing is something like a gimbal manufacturer like Moza. That's what I said. I said, if Nikon bought Moza, and let me know if you think the same thing. If they bought Moza, do you think they'd take on the Pocket 3? I don't know. I think they tried their luck with the Z30 in vlogging. I love it on the DJI RS3 Pro, but because it's such a small gimbal. But I'd love to get even a smaller, lighter gimbal that has the same kind of resilience as the RS3 Mini. But anyway, I digress. Amazing news. I think from what I've seen, more people on the Nikon side of things are excited than on the Red side of things, maybe. But look, then again, I don't know, because I've only been following a lot of people on the Nikon side of things. It's going to be an interesting thing to watch. It makes me more excited to produce content with these cameras. And so, guys, I'm really, looking forward to creating more movies. And I'm glad I chose Nikon to work on my documentary films. So who knows where we'll be in the next 5 years? Who knows? Maybe I'll release a few documentary films and play in that game also. So build up a team for producing documentaries, which is, I'd love to do that. No, I can't say, I would. It is, a passion to film. When I was a kid, when I was 12, that's what I really enjoyed doing. And so I think this kind of reaffirms that path, It's a coincidence, serendipity, nothing really to do with any choice that I made, but it kind of falls together. So guys, thanks for listening, and I look forward to seeing you at the next video, which will be probably sometime next week. Take care. See ya.